but a member of the Chicago Sky, the national title winner at LSU. And she talked about where all this attention started with her and Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese spoke to the media. She didn't speak to the media after the game against Caitlin.
Angel Reese, one of the WNBA's brightest young stars, is now at the center of a massive controversy, and the fallout could be career-ending. The news of her lifetime suspension has rocked the sports world, and fans everywhere are asking what happened. How did things spiral out of control so fast? And why is the league coming down so hard on a player who was once seen as the future of women's basketball? But here's the kicker: the details are still under wraps. No one knows the full story yet, and the tension is building with her reputation on the line. Reese's next steps will be crucial. Is this the end of her career, or is there more to the story that we haven't seen yet? Angel Reese's controversy isn't just affecting her, it's sending shockwaves through the entire WNBA. The league, which has been fighting for more recognition and respect, is now dealing with one of its biggest issues to date. And then there's her coach, Teresa Weatherspoon.
If you're her coach and you care about her, you're not doing this. You shouldn't be making the focus another success.
Who is also being dragged into the spotlight. What role did she play in this situation? Is she just an innocent bystander, or is there something more to her involvement? Before we dive into the details, do yourself a favor, like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single update on this explosive issue. Trust me, the truth behind this situation is about to come out, and it's going to leave everyone in shock. Angel Reese, at 22 years old, is not someone who can easily claim ignorance at her age, and at her level in professional basketball, she's well past the point of being easily influenced or unaware of the rules. It's hard to accept that someone like Angel, a player with such high expectations, could ever try to paint herself as a victim of bad judgment or external pressures. It's not as if she's a young player just starting out naively led astray by someone with more experience. This is a professional who by now should know exactly what's expected of her on and off the court. The idea that she didn't fully understand the consequences of her actions simply doesn't hold water. The truth is out there, and it's becoming harder to deny with each passing day. Even with prominent figures in women's basketball like Cheryl Swoops and Wilson stepping in to defend her, the damage is already done. Angel Reese is in a position where no one, no matter how legendary, can save her from the fallout of her actions. After looking deeper into the situation, it becomes clear that the consequences for players caught using performance-enhancing drugs like steroids are often not as severe as one might think. In most cases, an athlete gets a suspension, usually 20 games, maybe a bit more, but it's generally viewed as a temporary setback. Sure, there's a small mark on their reputation, an asterisk next to their name, but after serving the suspension, they return to the court, and with time, the incident fades from public memory. People tend to move on, and the player hopes the fans and media do the same. However, Angel Reese isn't getting that kind of leniency. This isn't just a temporary punishment. What Angel is facing is something far more serious. She's been handed the harshest penalty possible in her sport, a lifetime ban. Yes, the very same Angel Reese who was once hyped as the next big star in women's basketball, the player who was supposed to lead her team to new heights, is now out of the game for good. And this isn't just a bump in the road, something she can come back from after a period of reflection. This is a career-ending scandal, the kind of public disaster that everyone talks about for years. The repercussions of this are enormous, not just for Angel, but for the entire league. It's the kind of situation that leaves people shaking their heads, wondering how it all went so wrong. If you think this is the first time something like this has rocked the basketball world. Think. Again, in 2017, Joakim Noah, an NBA player, was hit with a 20-game suspension for testing positive for a banned substance. It was a scandal at the time, but Noah's punishment was relatively mild compared to what Angel Reese is now facing. Noah's situation was more of a sit in the corner for a bit punishment he served. His suspension then came back and continued his career. For Noah, it was a significant event, but not something that defined his legacy. Unfortunately for Angel, she's not getting the same opportunity to redeem herself. This lifetime ban is a clear message. Her basketball career is over, and there's no chance of coming back. It's the ultimate pack your bags, you're done here situation. And it's even more shocking when you consider the context after the Joakim Noah incident. Both the NBA and WNBA cracked down on steroid use, making it clear that this kind of behavior would not be tolerated. The mere mention of steroids became taboo in professional basketball. It was a dirty word, something that could tarnish a player's reputation just by being associated with it. The leagues wanted to ensure that their sports were clean and that no one could question the integrity of their athletes. Fast forward to 2024, and now we find ourselves back in scandal territory, but this time it's even bigger. The stakes are higher because the WNBA has never had to deal with a scandal of this magnitude before. To truly understand how Angel Reese managed to bring her own career to such a disastrous end, we need to go back to her early days in the WNBA. When she first joined the Chicago Sky, there were sky-high expectations. Angel was supposed to be the next big thing, the player who would change the game for the team and bring a new level of excitement to women's basketball. The hype around her was real. She was touted as a game changer, someone with the potential to lead the Chicago Sky to championships. However, things didn't go as planned. Rather than becoming the star everyone expected her to be, Angel found herself constantly overshadowed by another rising star, Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark, a player who seemed to be unstoppable, quickly became the dominant force in women's basketball. She was breaking records with ease, and her rookie season alone saw her racking up an astonishing 761 points. All of this while maintaining a clean image free of drama or controversy. Clark was the total package, an incredible athlete, a team player, and someone who let her talent speak for itself. Meanwhile, Angel Reese was struggling. In her first 10 games, she barely managed to hit double digits in half of them. The comparisons between the two were inevitable, and they were brutal. Angel was constantly being compared to Clark, and in every comparison she came up short. The pressure of being compared to Caitlin Clark, of being seen as less than the player she was supposed to be, began to weigh heavily on Angel. It became clear that she was struggling to handle the pressure. Instead of focusing on improving her game, she became consumed with trying to stay relevant. She tried everything: trash-talking opponents, faking injuries to gain sympathy, and even making race-based accusations against Caitlin Clark in an attempt to stir up controversy. But none of it worked in the end. Talent is what truly matters in professional sports, and Caitlin Clark's talent was undeniable. While Angel was floundering, Clark was thriving, and the gap between them continued to widen. Desperate to keep up, Angel made the worst decision of her career. She turned to steroids. In the world of professional sports, performance-enhancing drugs are seen as a quick fix for athletes who feel they're falling behind. Steroids can increase muscle mass, speed up recovery times, and boost stamina. An athlete like Angel, who was struggling to keep pace with someone as talented as Caitlin Clark, the allure of steroids was likely too strong to resist. In theory, these drugs should have given her the edge she needed to compete. They should have made her stronger, faster, and more competitive, but even with the help of steroids, Angel still couldn't keep up. With Caitlin Clark, sure, there were a few games where Angel's performance improved slightly. She had moments where she looked like she might be able to compete at Clark's level, but those moments were few and far between. Overall, Clark continued to dominate, while Angel remained stuck in the shadows, and the worst part, Angel wasn't alone in this scandal. Her coach, Teresa Weatherspoon, was also implicated, allegedly, instead of doing what a responsible coach should, helping Angel improve her game naturally. Teresa Weatherspoon encouraged Angel to use steroids as a way to level the playing field. Teresa Weatherspoon, a once respected figure in women's basketball, is now facing her own suspension as a result of her involvement in this scandal. The accusations against her are serious rather than guiding Angel through her struggles. Weatherspoon is said to have taken the easy way out by supporting Angel's steroid use. It's a shocking betrayal of her role as a mentor and coach. Coaches are supposed to help their players grow both on and off the court. They're supposed to be the ones who steer their athletes away from bad decisions and help them reach their full potential through hard work and dedication. But in this case, Weatherspoon did the opposite. She enabled Angel's worst instincts and allowed this situation to spiral out of control. Weatherspoon's suspension is not just a minor punishment, it's a career-defining moment. Her once sterling reputation has been completely tarnished by this scandal. She was seen as someone who could guide the Chicago Sky to success, but now she's viewed as someone who played a key role in one of the biggest steroid scandals the WNBA has ever seen. It's a devastating fall from grace for someone who was once so highly regarded in the world of women's basketball. The fallout from this scandal isn't just limited to Angel Reese and Teresa Weatherspoon, though. The entire Chicago Sky organization has been thrown into chaos. The team had been counting on Angel to lead them to success, but her actions have had the opposite effect. Instead of helping her team rise to new heights, Angel dragged them down. Her steroid use not only violated league rules but also undermined the team's chemistry and morale. The Chicago Sky playoff hopes were completely derailed by Angel's actions, and the organization is now left to pick up the pieces. In fact, the situation has become so toxic that the Chicago Sky had filed a lawsuit against Angel Reese. They're accusing her of more than just using steroids. They're claiming that her actions directly sabotage their season. This isn't just about breaking a few league rules. In the eyes of the Chicago Sky, Angel Reese's steroid use was a betrayal of the team, something that ruined their chances for success and left the organization in disarray. The lawsuit isn't just a formality either. The Chicago Sky have backed up their accusations with evidence, making it clear that they believe Angel's actions were deliberate and harmful to the team's future. But Angel's downfall didn't just affect her career, it threw the entire Chicago Sky locker room into turmoil. Players were frustrated, and the trust within the team was shattered. Instead of being a cohesive unit working toward a common goal, the Sky became a fractured group, with individuals feeling isolated and betrayed. Much of this dysfunction can be traced back to Angel's actions, but she wasn't the only one responsible. Teresa Weatherspoon, the head coach, was right there alongside her, fanning the flames and contributing to the toxic atmosphere. One of the players most affected by this dysfunction was Camila Cardoso, a talented athlete with serious potential. Cardoso should have had the opportunity to step up and help the team succeed. However, Weatherspoon was so focused on propping up Angel Reese that she neglected the rest of the team, including Cardoso, instead of building a game plan that allowed the whole team to shine. Weatherspoon centered everything around Angel, a player who was struggling both on and off the court. This decision alienated not just Cardoso, but many of the other players as well. It created a situation where players felt like they were being sacrificed for the sake of one person's fading career. The results of this dysfunction were clear for everyone to see before the Olympic break. In 2024, the Chicago Sky were still in the mix. They weren't dominating the league, but they were holding their own and had a legitimate shot at making a playoff run. But after the break, things fell apart. The team's performance plummeted, and they finished the season with a dismal 13-27 record. Fans were stunned. Analysts couldn't believe what they were seeing, and the blame fell squarely on Angel Reese and Teresa Weather. This dynamic duo, who were supposed to lead the team to success, had instead driven it into the ground. The lawsuit filed by the Chicago Sky against Angel Reese makes it clear that her steroid use wasn't just a personal failure, it had a profound impact on the entire team. The team's chemistry was destroyed, players were frustrated, and trust was non-existent. The Sky weren't a team anymore, they were a group of individuals going through the motions, all thanks to Angel's bad decisions. Instead of being the leader they needed, Angel had become a liability, and the team's chances of success were ruined because of her actions. As for Teresa Weatherspoon, her role in this disaster cannot be overlooked. Once a respected figure in women's basketball, she's now facing the consequences of her involvement in one of the biggest scandals the WNBA has ever seen. Her suspension is fully justified, as she played a key role in allowing the situation to spiral out of control. Instead of stepping in and guiding Angel away from bad decisions, Weatherspoon enabled her, and in doing so, she betrayed the trust of her players, her team, and the fans. This entire scandal is a cautionary tale. It's a story about jealousy, bad decisions, and the consequences of letting personal ambition override what's best for the team. Angel Reese's downfall was fueled by her inability to accept that someone else, Caitlin Clark, was outshining her. Instead of working harder and improving her game, she took shortcuts and made choices that ultimately destroyed her career. Teresa Weatherspoon, instead of being the guiding force that could have saved Angel from herself, made things worse by supporting those bad decisions. Now both Angel Reese and Teresa Weatherspoon are paying the ultimate price. Their careers are in ruins, and their reputations are forever tied to this scandal. The WNBA, which has worked hard to build its credibility and grow its fan base, now finds itself dealing with the fallout from one of the biggest controversies in its history. The ripple effects of this scandal will be felt for years to come, and it will take time for the league to recover from the damage caused by Angel Reese's actions. This issue surrounding Angel Reese's lifetime suspension isn't just another headline. It's a serious matter that could reshape the future of women's basketball. The gravity of the situation goes beyond just one player. It touches on the integrity of the sport, the responsibility of coaches, and the impact on teams like the Chicago Sky, who are left to deal with the fallout. Angel Reese's decision to use performance-enhancing drugs in an attempt to stay competitive reflects the immense pressures athletes face, but it doesn't excuse the actions that have led to such severe consequences. Likewise, Teresa Weatherspoon's involvement only deepens the betrayal felt by fans and teammates alike. This isn't just about breaking rules, it's about the choices that undermine the trust, hard work, and dedication that professional sports should represent. As the WNBA navigates the ripple effects of this controversy, it's clear that this issue will leave a lasting mark on the league. Athletes, coaches, and organizations must now grapple with the consequences of these decisions, and the league will have to work hard to rebuild the credibility shaken by this incident. The question now isn't just what happens to Angel Reese and Teresa Weatherspoon, but how the WNBA moves forward in the wake of one of its biggest scandals. What do you think about Angel Reese's lifetime suspension and the ripple effects it's having on the WNBA. Do you believe there's more to this story, or do you think the punishment fits the crime? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on this shocking controversy. The truth is still unfolding, and you won't want to miss what happens next.